Hello everyone, good morning, happy Sunday. Okay, anticipating let me rewind. Anticipating outcome for the election this week. And you need to know that I do the videos ahead of time, but I will be making a special one that will come out through the regular weekly time for after the election. So we're days away, and I hope you can hold the energy for whatever is for the highest and best. And whether you're voting for Biden or you're voting for Trump, let's hold the highest and best and let that be what guides America in the days ahead. And regardless of who wins or who loses, we are going to move forward with grace and ease in this new form of unity, somehow, some way, no matter who wins. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Let's move on. So I'm interested in the cards that will come up this week with the election coming to see, where's everybody's collective right now? Where are we as a collective right now? And I'm very curious to see the cards that will come up as a result of that. Where do we need to be over the next few days? But also this is going to reflect post-election. And again, we don't know which way this is going. And weeks ago, I was told by Spirit that they didn't even know the outcome hadn't been decided yet. So I don't know what that means, whether it means it sure seems like Spirit, it sure seems like the people have made up their mind, but maybe Spirit hasn't. So, I'm not sure how that all comes into this, but it's interesting nonetheless. So let's move on to the kind of week we're going to have, or what we need to know to navigate through the election week and all of that. That will be very interesting. So I'm going to start with John Holland's deck. And I'm going to ask, where do we need to be to navigate through this? Oh, interesting. So the first card is Destiny. And what's calling to me are all the women around this energy in a circle with a geometric pattern behind. And to me, this says that it's about bringing in the divine feminine. And so we have to hold the space for that. It's not just what's going to be best for me, what's going to be best in business, the economy. It's what's going to be best for bringing in what's going to set the stage for bringing in the divine feminine. And that in itself is destiny. So that's the first one. And I love how she's holding her hands over her heart. So almost as if it's a prayer extending to the universe. I can't talk today. The next card is Memories of Love. So I have said right along, regardless of who you're voting for, that's an individual choice and you should follow your own guidance. But I have said right along, the battle of separation that's been going on right now has been absolutely horrible. Families divided on who they're voting for, and so it creates a lot of aggression and anger. And that I've seen also a lot of light workers really getting in arguments with other light workers, and we forget that we're supposed to be holding a place for love. And that every single person is playing a role in this. It's a choice, this or that, light or dark. And so you're entitled to your choice and believing that your choice is the best choice. But once it's said and done, we have to get back to this place. Memories of love, not division, unity. How are we going to start to repair this country? because it's a reflection of our own internal process and our hearts. And the last one, no surprises, wisdom. And to me, he's got a book of wisdom. So it's like we've been waiting for this moment for a long time in terms of, we're at the ascension point. Who's going to take us to the finale? And the wisdom says, remember, there's wisdom in everything. So many times we forget that when we go through something, that we are calling that forth so we can have a choice or do things differently or whatever, instead of saying that it found us and happened to us. This is about what we called forth to take us to the next level. So as a collective, that's what we've done. And wisdom, he's holding this sacred book to remember the wisdom we have inside of us. When we have a wisdom, or when we have wisdom inside of us, it's never about the other person. It's about a choice and the role that's being played on the world stage. So stop taking it to heart in terms of you make your choice, you have a voice, you have a vote, and then it is done. And then we can start healing this planet. Okay. So I definitely like all of those. Makes total sense to me. I'm going to ask one card for what should people do that will have a hard time with whatever that result of the election will be. What can people do if they have a hard time with the election? Movement, choices, and decisions. So this is movement. Know that regardless of whatever's happening, there will be movement. You made your choice, and then there will be decisions to be made because of that. What's right for you personally. If it goes one way, what decision are you going to make about moving forward? If it goes another way, what decision are you going to make? So this makes sense. Okay, let me put these aside. And I want to go to Keepers of the Light. So this week, which master or goddess do we need to work with? Shekinah. Sacred self, unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. Look at this. The divine feminine again. And look at the dove. So this to me, and she's got the Merkaba on her heart, this to me says that we have to heal the divine feminine, the goddess, and the dove through unity and love. Heal. Let's see what she had to say in the book. Don't feel the need to hold back or dampen your spirit. This is time to celebrate. There's a feeling of dance and joy around you at this time as you fully recognize your splendor. You are a sacred being who defies gravity every day by just being alive and brings a sense of balance and equality to the world. So again, this is saying, go back to the love, the peace and the love. I'm then moving to the Goddess deck. I have many different decks, and as you can see, I'm always jumping around. This is by Amy Sophia, the Goddess Oracle. So let's see once again, who is going to help us this week? Blodeuwedd. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. B-L-O-D-E-L-L Wed. And it says betrayal. So let's relate this back to this coming week. Oh, it's pronounced blow die wed. She was wedded to the sun god on the midsummer holiday. Her name has become associated with betrayal because she tricked her husband by getting him to enact the complicated means of his death. Bathing under a thatched roof over a cauldron by the side of a river while standing with one leg touching a deer. Then she killed him with the help of her lover. The real story is about the archetypal forces. She represents the voracious earth goddess hungry for the blood of the sacred king to fertilize her soil. So meaning of this, blow de wed, hooting call is heard in your life, alerting you to a betrayal. How is betrayal showing up? Do you have trouble picking trustworthy people in your life? Well, we're going to relate this back to this week in the election. She says that on your path to wholeness, you must answer the question, how have I betrayed myself? And all betrayal stems from self-betrayal. So she asks you to go deeper, take in the healing that is occurring, breathe it deep into your cells, your bones, your consciousness, feel energized and calm, and she asks you for a gift. You give it to her with an open heart as she disappears. Focus your intention on being in a relaxed place, no matter what the circumstance. So I think we can look at that some people might feel betrayed from the results of this. And so to work with her, to be able to let it go. So if your candidate's not the one that wins, you might feel betrayed. Work with that energy. Okay, I'm going to the Oracle E by Pam Grout and Colette Byron Reed. Love this. Funny. So what do we need to know for the first week of November? Oh boy, this hopped out loud and clear. So my feeling is that, relating it to what's going on this week, loud and clear, that the people in America are going to have a loud and clear voice on this is what we want, regardless of how it turns out. So I know she'll have something different to say, but I'm just saying that in the moment. Can you hear me now? What about now? This is the time for telling it like it is. Get very clear in your intentions, know exactly what you want to communicate, and trust that you are currently connected to the universal network. And just so you know, it's a lot bigger than 10 Gs. So loud and clear, having a voice and having it be heard. All right, moving to Colette Byron Reed's The Wisdom of the Oracle. I love the decks because they're each one of them are so different. They're just awesome. They all bring in different things. So for the first week of November, well, we're going to take that because it was hopping out. All that glitters. Wow, what a card. So you've got two masks on a pile of gold, all that glitters. Well, isn't that interesting? A need to see beyond the superficial, the desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature, trying to be something you're not, chasing after every sparkly new thing, being mercurial. The message is, it's only human we want to adorn oneself with trinkets and paint a pretty picture. It's natural to want to acquire the happenings of status or to deny them as a statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it better? Whether it's a fast car, a big house, a title or position, the stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about the person, place, or thing, or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. The card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath of what's really going on under the surface. Learn to recognize the masks people wear and the motives underlying them. Imagine that all the glitter is gone. What would you desire the object? What would you still desire the object or person? So that makes sense in terms of what the topic is. You know, who's really telling the truth? What's going on? Let's remove whatever the showpiece is and see what's underneath. Interesting. So this one is Native Spirit by Denise Lynn. First week of November. Storyteller. Campfire. So let's find that. Card meaning, live larger than life. Make the most of every experience. You can choose the meaning that you give events. Find interpretations that empower you rather than diminish you. Be the storyteller and the hero of your own life. Give your personal story empowered meanings. Your native spirit wants you to know around the evening campfires, clan members always look forward to storytellers accounting events of the daily happenings of the tribe. Even the most mundane event took on vibrancy in the expert hands of the storyteller. Storyteller card chose you to remind you to be the champion of your own personal myth. Be the central character. Don't live according to the needs and expectations of others. Don't be a bit player in your own story. So, to me, what this is saying is, you know, in the years ahead, we're living through this unique election time, and not just the election, but everything else that's going on, that we are in a place of writing the future. So to me, how are you going to tell this in years ahead? Where are you in all of this? And what will be documented about the people at this time with what they wanted and how they moved forward in their life? So summing it up, we look like we've got an amazing week just holding the destiny for the divine feminine and remembering it's all about love and bringing in unity here, using our wisdom and making decisions based on whoever the people choose to be in office, and not seeing it as a betrayal if your candidate didn't win, and get really clear on what you want. And then we start to rebuild, and that's the big job. So I want to say blessings to all of you, lots of love, and get through this week through prayer, through positive intention, and we'll all get through it. Love you all. Bye-bye.